Is your cat keeping you awake at 2 a.m., aggressively biting at the base of their tail? It is heartbreaking to watch them frantically scratch their neck, shake their head, or pull out clumps of their own beautiful fur until their skin is red and raw. And if you've been desperately searching for a natural, safe way to give them relief, you already know the internet is full of terrifying, conflicting advice. If your cat is suffering from severe itching, fleas, or ticks, and you are terrified of putting harsh chemical pesticides on their delicate skin, you are in exactly the right place. Well, it is officially time. Cat parents, the wait is finally over. After our dog video about fixing severe itching hit over 500,000 views, my comment section absolutely exploded. You all made it very clear. Thousands of you were asking, "Dr. Tony, what about my cat? My poor cat is scratching their fur out. Can I use the same trick?" And when I posted the channel poll yesterday, this topic completely crushed the votes. So today, we are doing a deep dive into our feline friends. But I have to start with a massive life-saving warning. Do not use the dog trick on your cat. Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Lee. I've been a veterinarian for over a decade, and today, I'm going to share the ultimate, vet-approved, 100% natural, and scientifically proven secrets to stop your cat's severe itching, soothe their irritated skin, and destroy a flea infestation naturally. Today, we are going to talk about the magical one-drop killer that drowns fleas instantly, how to physically shatter the hidden environmental flea life cycle without toxic chemical foggers, and exactly what dangerous internet myths you must avoid. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will be fully empowered to heal your cat at home safely. So, grab a cup of coffee, grab a notebook, let your kitty curl up in your lap, and please hit that subscribe button to join our family of responsible pet parents. Let's dive deep. Okay, start with Chapter 1, the invisible enemy and the doctor's paper towel trick. Before we start treating your cat, we have to know exactly what we are fighting. The biggest mistake I see pet parents make is assuming that because they can't physically see a bug jumping on their cat, fleas aren't the problem. "Dr. Tony," they tell me, "my cat is an indoor cat. We live on the 5th floor of an apartment building. There is absolutely no way they have fleas. It must be a food allergy." Let me tell you a secret. Fleas are masterful hitchhikers. You can walk through a grassy patch outside your apartment, a single flea can grab onto your pant leg, ride the elevator up with you, jump off in your living room, and find your indoor cat. It is that easy. And if your cat is grooming themselves meticulously, which most cats do, they will actually swallow the adult fleas as they clean themselves. This leaves zero evidence of live bugs on the fur, but they always leave behind clues. And here is my favorite at-home veterinary trick to find out if your scratching cat has a secret flea infestation. It is called the wet paper towel test to identify flea dirt. I want you to go to your kitchen, take a plain white paper towel, and get it slightly damp with warm water. Lay it flat on a table. Now, take your cat and gently place them on the table next to the paper towel. Take your fingers or a fine brush and ruffle the fur backward along the base of your cat's spine, right where the tail starts. This is flea ground zero. As you ruffle the fur, you might see tiny, hard black specks fall out. At first glance, it just looks like regular black pepper or dark skin dandruff. Take a pinch of those black flakes, drop them onto your wet, white paper towel, and gently press them down with your finger. Wait about 10 seconds. If those black flakes suddenly begin to dissolve and bleed outward into a rusty, reddish-brown halo, you have a confirmed flea infestation. Why? Because that isn't dirt, that is flea feces. It is entirely made of your cat's digested blood. When it touches water, the dried blood reconstitutes and turns red. If it just stays black or gray and doesn't bleed red, it's normal dirt. But if you see that rusty red ring, it is time to go to war. Next, Chapter 2, the allergic nightmare, why one bite lasts for weeks. Once owners discover that their cat has fleas, the next thing they say is, "But Dr. Tony, I only found 1 or 2 pieces of flea dirt. How is it possible that my cat has chewed their belly entirely bald just from one tiny bug?" This brings us to a medical condition you absolutely must understand. It is called FAD, flea allergy dermatitis. FAD is the most common allergic skin disease in cats worldwide. Here is the mind-blowing science behind it. When a flea bites your cat to feed, it injects a tiny, microscopic amount of its own saliva into your cat's bloodstream to stop the blood from clotting. Many cats are violently allergic to the proteins inside flea saliva. To put this into perspective for you, imagine if you were highly allergic to mosquito bites, and a mosquito bit you, but instead of getting a small, itchy bump, your entire back, legs, and neck broke out into burning, agonizing hives that lasted for 3 full weeks. That is what your cat is feeling. Your cat's immune system goes into absolute overdrive. They aren't just scratching because they feel a bug crawling. They are scratching because their entire body is experiencing a massive allergic inflammatory response. That is why one single flea bite can trigger a cat to scratch themselves raw, bite off their own fur, and develop horrible weeping scabs, especially around the neck and the base of the tail. If your cat is dealing with this right now, I want to reassure you, they are not crazy, they are just incredibly itchy, and we are going to fix it right now. Chapter 3. The Liver Truth Bomb. Why Natural Internet Remedies Kill Cats. We know what is causing the itch. Now we have to cure it. But before I tell you the right way to do this, I must stop you from doing the wrong way. And this is perhaps the most important 3 minutes of this entire video. When you are desperate to help your itchy cat, but you don't want to use toxic chemicals from a pet store, you will likely Google natural flea remedies for cats. And the internet will happily feed you deadly lies. You will find thousands of blogs and social media posts telling you to mix up a spray bottle using essential oils. They will say, just put a few drops of natural tea tree oil, lavender, peppermint, or eucalyptus oil on your cat. It's plant-based, it's perfectly safe. Listen to me very closely as a medical professional. If you do this, you will poison your cat. Let me teach you a little bit of fascinating feline biology. You, as a human, and dogs, have specific, highly developed enzymes in your liver. These enzymes act like a chemical filtration factory, allowing you to easily process, break down, and safely excrete compounds found in plants. One of the most important filtering enzymes we have is called glucuronidyltransferase. Here is the ultimate liver truth bomb. Cats are almost completely missing this enzyme. Why? Because cats are obligate carnivores. For millions of years of evolution, their ancestors in the desert exclusively ate meat. They never grazed on plants. Because they didn't eat plants, their bodies eventually realized they didn't need the software to break down plant toxins, and they evolved without it. This means that when you put a highly concentrated plant compound, like tea tree oil, eucalyptus, or peppermint essential oils, onto a cat's skin, it is absorbed directly into their bloodstream. And because their liver lacks the glucuronidyltransferase enzyme to break that poison down, it just sits there. It builds up in their body as a deadly toxin. It only takes a tiny amount of tea tree oil to cause a cat to start excessively drooling. Soon after, they will start wobbling when they walk. That progresses to violent muscle tremors, seizures, massive liver failure, and death. Never, ever put essential oils on a cat. They are not dogs. Natural does not equal safe. Hemlock is natural. Arsenic is natural. Keep the essential oils in your diffuser and keep them far away from your cat. Chapter 4. The Fatal Mistake in the Pet Aisle. While we are on the topic of things that are safe for dogs but fatal to cats, we must address the most common, tragic emergency room visit I see during flea season. Mistake number 1. Permethrin. Permethrin is an extremely cheap, highly effective synthetic insecticide. Because it is so cheap, it is the main active ingredient in dozens of over-the-counter flea drops and collars sold for dogs at your local grocery store. Dog biology handles permethrin perfectly fine, but for a cat, permethrin causes catastrophic, fatal neurological damage. Here is the scenario I see all the time. A well-meaning pet parent wants to save money. They buy a large dog tube of flea medicine containing permethrin. They put half the tube on their golden retriever, and then, thinking they are being clever and frugal, they put the remaining drops onto the back of their cat's neck. Within hours, that cat is in the emergency room having uncontrollable full-body convulsions. This is known as permethrin toxicity, and without thousands of dollars of intensive care, intravenous lipid emulsions, and medically induced comas, the cat will not survive. Even if you apply dog flea medication correctly to your dog, if your cat sleeps next to the dog or rubs against the dog's wet fur before the medicine dries, the cat can absorb enough permethrin to become deathly ill. So my absolute non-negotiable rule is this: never buy over-the-counter flea medication without asking your vet. Never try to split dog medications for a cat. And if you have a mixed household of dogs and cats, you must read the active ingredient labels of your dog's preventatives like a hawk. Chapter 5. The Ultimate One-Drop Killer and the Magic Comb. Okay, you now know what you absolutely must avoid. Now it is time to fight back and actually heal your cat naturally and safely. We are going to start with the safest, purest natural weapon on the planet, the fine-toothed metal flea comb. Using a flea comb physically removes the adults, the flea dirt, and the loose hair. It requires no chemicals, and it is the single most important tool for pregnant cats, nursing mothers, or tiny kittens who are too small and delicate for any medical treatments. But a comb alone isn't enough, because fleas are professional escape artists. If you pull a comb through a cat's fur and catch a live flea, that flea will instantly jump into the air, land on your carpet, and come right back. We have to trap them and kill them simultaneously. This is where the ultimate one-drop killer comes in, the soap barrier method. Before you sit down with your cat, I want you to grab a small cup or bowl of very warm water. Next, you are going to go to your kitchen sink and get the plain, original blue Dawn dish soap. You don't want anything with strong fragrances, antibacterial chemicals, or moisturizers. Just the original blue formula. Take exactly one single drop of that dish soap and mix it into the cup of warm water. Now, why are we doing this? It all comes down to the fascinating physics of insects. Fleas have an incredibly complex wax-coated exoskeleton. This waxy coating acts like a raincoat. If you drop a flea into a cup of regular water, it will not drown. Because of the water's natural surface tension and the flea's waxy coating, the flea will literally float on top of the water, row itself to the edge of the cup, jump out, and bite your cat again. But when you add just one single drop of dish soap to that water, it acts as a surfactant. The soap immediately destroys the surface tension of the water. When you comb your cat, catch a live flea, and immediately dip the metal comb into the soapy water cup, physics takes over. The soap aggressively strips away the waxy protective coating on the flea's exoskeleton. The water tension gives way. The flea instantly plummets to the bottom of the cup, suffocates, and drowns in seconds. No survival, no escape. 100% natural, instant elimination. I want you to sit on the floor in a brightly lit room. Keep your cup of soapy water right beside you. Gently comb your cat's neck, down their spine, and around the base of the tail. Every time you finish a stroke, swish the comb in the cup. Do this every single day until the cup is completely clear of bugs. It is incredibly effective and weirdly satisfying. Chapter 6. The Dawn Dish Soap Bath and the Neck Ring Technique. If you are dealing with a light infestation, daily combing is perfect. But what if your cat is heavily infested? What if you found dozens of fleas and the cat is crawling with them? In that case, we must deploy the big guns, a full-body Dawn dish soap bath. Now I know what you are thinking. Giving a cat a bath is like trying to bathe a chainsaw. But if they are severely infested, it is highly necessary. You do not need harsh, expensive flea shampoos that strip their natural oils. The plain blue dish soap is exceptionally gentle. In fact, it's exactly what wildlife rescuers use on delicate baby ducks covered in oil spills. Now here is the step-by-step masterclass on bathing a cat to kill fleas, starting with the most vital secret, the neck ring technique. Fleas are highly intelligent survivalists. When a cat gets wet, the fleas sense the change in temperature and environment immediately. Their biological instinct is to climb upward to higher, drier ground. The moment the water touches your cat's back, every flea on their body will stampede directly toward your cat's head to hide deep inside their ear canals, in their nostrils, and right up against their eyes. It is horrifying and very hard to clean. We have to cut off their escape route before the bath even begins. Take your cat into the bathroom, close the door, and have a small cup of soapy water ready. Before you put a single drop of water on your cat's body, you take your fingers, dip them into the thick soapy water, and massage a heavy, unbroken ring of soap completely around the cat's neck, right behind their ears and under their chin. This creates a thick, impenetrable, chemical-free soapy barrier. Now, when you begin using warm water to wet the cat's back and belly, the fleas will try to run up to the head, but they will slam into the soapy wall and die. The face and ears remain completely protected. Once your neck ring is in place, wet the body, lather up the fur with a small amount of the dish soap, and let the suds sit on the skin for 3 to 5 minutes to fully suffocate the adults. Use your fingers to massage it deep into the armpits and the groin, where fleas love to hide. Finally, rinse them off completely with warm water. You will literally watch hundreds of dead fleas wash down the drain. But I need to issue a very clear clinical disclaimer right here. Listen to this carefully. The Dawn soap bath is an absolute miracle as a first step to killing adult fleas currently on the cat. But it has zero residual protection. What does that mean? It means the second you dry your cat off with a towel, they have no shield. There is no medication left on their skin to protect them. So if you put that clean, dry cat right back down onto your living room carpet, a new batch of hungry fleas waiting in the rugs can and will jump right back onto them 10 minutes later. Which brings us to the next massive problem we have to solve. But first, let's heal that raw, itchy skin. Chapter 7. Pure coconut oil and the safe skin soother. Now that your cat is physically clean and flea-free, they are likely still miserable. Their skin is covered in raw, red bites, angry, inflamed hot spots, and agonizing scabs from weeks of flea allergy dermatitis. We need to heal the skin barrier immediately. And again, no Neosporin, no hydrocortisone cream, no human medicines that can cause stomach ulcers when licked. The absolute best, 100% safe, natural topical ointment for your cat is pure, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. Coconut oil contains exceptionally high levels of a fatty acid called lauric acid. Lauric acid is a scientific powerhouse. It is naturally anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and incredibly hydrating. When your cat scratches their skin raw, they tear tiny microfissures in the top layer of their epidermis. Normal bacteria and yeast that live on the skin's surface get pushed down into these tiny cuts, causing a secondary infection. That makes the skin hot, red, and overwhelmingly itchy. You want to take just a tiny, superficial dab of the solid coconut oil on the tip of your finger. Let it melt with your body heat, part your cat's fur, and massage it directly, gently, onto those red, irritated patches or scabs on the back of the neck and the base of the tail. The oil does 3 amazing things instantly. 1, it immediately rehydrates the broken skin, turning down the nerve endings that are screaming itch. 2, the lauric acid starts fighting off the bad surface bacteria naturally. And 3, this is the most crucial part. If your cat is a fastidious groomer, turns around and licks that spot, it is perfectly fine. It is 100% non-toxic. In fact, digesting a small amount of high-quality coconut oil is great for a cat's coat and helps them pass hairballs. Just keep it to a tiny superficial dab directly on the raw spots. Don't cover their whole body in grease or they will feel dirty and get stressed out. Chapter 8. The Safe Vinegar Repellent. We've killed the live fleas and we've soothed the red, itchy skin. But what if we want to create a natural scent-based force field around our cat to deter bugs without using essential oils? For this, we turn to the kitchen pantry again. The only truly safe scent repellent for cats is a heavily diluted apple cider vinegar and water mist. Notice I said repellent, not killer. We need to be incredibly factual here. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV, does not kill an active flea infestation. Its acidity is simply an intense deterrent. Fleas rely on heat, CO2, and scent to find their hosts. They absolutely hate the smell and the taste of the acetic acid in the vinegar. If your cat smells slightly acidic, a flea is far less likely to hitch a ride on them. So the safest way to mix this is a strict 50-50 ratio. Take a clean, empty spray bottle. Fill it halfway with pure, unfiltered apple cider vinegar and halfway with purified water. Shake it up well. Now do not spray this directly into your cat's face. Cats loathe the sound of a spray bottle, and getting vinegar in their eyes or nose will burn and terrify them. Instead, lightly spray the 50-50 mist onto your own hands, or onto a soft cloth or brush, and gently stroke it down their back, their sides, and particularly under their belly and legs. It leaves a slight salad dressing scent that evaporates to the human nose very quickly, but to the super-sensitive antennae of a flea, your cat suddenly smells like a highly hostile environment. This is a wonderful, 100% non-toxic trick to wipe on your cat right before letting them hang out on the patio or near an open screen door. Chapter 9. The Environmental Loop. Okay, we have finally reached the climax of this video, the final boss battle. If you skip this step, everything you just did to help your cat, the comb, the bath, the coconut oil, was a complete waste of time. Your cat will be reinfested in a week. This is what I call the flea pyramid. It is a biological fact that shocks almost every pet parent I speak to. The adult fleas you physically see biting your cat, they only represent 5% of the total flea population inside your home. Let that sink in. Where is the other 95%? They are secretly multiplying inside your home's environment as microscopic eggs, larvae, and pupa. A single adult female flea can lay 50 tiny white eggs a day while living on your cat. As your cat walks around your living room, jumping onto the sofa and sleeping on your bed, those eggs roll right off the fur like grains of salt. They fall deep into your carpet fibers, into the crevices of your hardwood floors, and deep between the couch cushions. There, they hatch into microscopic worm-like larvae that avoid the light, burrowing even deeper into your rugs. Then, they spin themselves into invincible silk cocoons called pupae. A pupa can survive inside your house, immune to the cold and to many chemicals, for months, just waiting for the warmth and vibration of an animal walking by to trigger them to hatch, jump up, and bite your cat, restarting the miserable cycle all over again. So how do we destroy the 95% naturally? A lot of internet videos will tell you to use a powder called diatomaceous earth scattered around your carpets. Do not use diatomaceous earth in a home with a cat. Let me say that clearly. Diatomaceous earth is an ultra-fine fossilized dust. Cats have incredibly small, sensitive, delicate lungs, and their noses are only inches off the ground. When they walk through carpets treated with this dust, they kick it up and inhale it. It is a severe, highly abrasive respiratory hazard that can cause asthma, severe lung inflammation, and irreversible damage in cats. Oh, and by the way, it will completely destroy the internal motor of your expensive vacuum cleaner in a week. Skip the powders. Skip the chemical bug bombs that poison your air quality. Now, the absolute best, most proven, 100% natural, and totally free way to completely shatter the hidden environmental flea life cycle is a strict mechanical cleaning protocol. It is old-fashioned hard work and physics. Number 1, the daily vacuuming protocol. You must vacuum every single day for at least 14 to 21 days straight. Do not skip a day. And you can't just vacuum the center of the rug. Flea larvae hate the light. They crawl to the dark edges. You must use the hose attachment and vacuum right up against the baseboards, under the television stand, and deep into the seams of the couch cushions. The physical suction pulls up the eggs and the larvae. And remember those invincible pupae cocoons I told you about? The intense physical vibration and heat of the vacuum roller mimics a passing animal, forcing the cocoons to hatch prematurely, only to get instantly sucked up into the dirt chamber. It breaks the life cycle instantly. When you are done vacuuming, immediately empty the canister or throw the vacuum bag away in a trash can outside your house so they don't crawl back out. Number 2, the thermal wash protocol. Vacuuming handles the floors, but what about your cat's favorite blankets, your bed sheets, and their plush toys? Flea eggs and larvae cannot survive extreme heat. Gather every single piece of cat bedding, throw blankets, and even your own bed sheets if your cat sleeps with you. Put them in the washing machine. You must use water that is greater than 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The combination of intense, scalding hot water and tumbling laundry detergent physically destroys the flea eggs, instantly drowns the larvae, and cooks the cocoons. Dry them on the hottest cycle your dryer has. If you faithfully do the soapy comb on the cat, combined with the daily vacuuming and hot washing the bedding, you will eradicate a flea infestation within a month, with absolutely zero toxic chemicals entering your cat's body or your lungs. I know this was a massive amount of information, and if you are currently battling fleas and an itchy cat, you probably feel exhausted and overwhelmed. FAD, vacuuming, combs, hot spots, it is a lot. But take a deep breath. You are doing the right thing. By taking the time to educate yourself on feline biology, you are literally protecting your cat's liver, preserving their nervous system, and saving them from agonizing, toxic mistakes. Start today. Grab that white paper towel and do the wet test to confirm the flea dirt. Create your soapy neck ring and drown those adults in a Dawn dish soap bath. Soothe those red, raw patches of flea allergy dermatitis with just a dab of pure coconut oil and pull your vacuum out of the closet. You can do this. Your cat relies on you to be their superhero, and armed with this veterinary knowledge, that is exactly what you are. To the thousands of cat parents who demanded this video, thank you. Your passion for your pets inspires me every single day. Now, it is your turn to speak up. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Tell me about your cat. What is their name? What do they look like? And which of these natural methods are you going to try first? Do you have an itchy orange tabby or a scratching calico? I am going to be reading and replying to as many comments as I can for the first 24 hours. So if this video empowered you, please hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and absolutely share this with another cat parent who needs to hear the truth about essential oils and permethrin. Together, we can spread safe, medically accurate knowledge. I am Dr. Tony Lee. Give your beautiful, strong, resilient kitty a gentle head scratch for me. Keep fighting the good fight, and I will see you in the next video.